After what happened to Dogecoin, I thought that's the bottom, and there won't be anything else that will surprise me. A meme literally turned into a multi-billion-dollar business just because of a few tweets by the king of the internet. I'm not sure what we should call Elon Musk at this point. The king of memes, or the king of the internet, or the king of electric cars, or the first president of Mars, or the emperor of Mars as he calls himself. I think the question is not who is Mr. Elon Musk, but what is Elon Musk? Don't get me wrong, I have always been a big fan of Elon Musk, but at the same time, it really fascinates me that he can do whatever he wants and get away with it. Remember how he tweeted that he would take Tesla private when Tesla stock reaches a certain point? Literally, people rushed to buy Tesla stocks after that tweet. But that's not what we are here to talk about. Tesla might be interesting, but cryptos are much more interesting these days. They're so popular that you can start your own cryptocurrency just as a joke, and it will turn into a multi-billion-dollar business, just like Dogecoin. Is there an easier way to become a billionaire nowadays? I don't think so. Even the dot-com billionaires are jealous. And if you thought that Dogecoin was an exception, then my dear friend, you're absolutely wrong. Another coin that isn't that old also seems to have started as a joke, but now it's worth $2.8 billion. At one point, they even crossed a market cap of $4 billion. And what fascinates me the most about it is that no one really knows why is it rising. I have a question, guys. If I start a cryptocurrency as a joke and call it Proactive Coin or Proactive Moon, would you buy it? Can we pump it to the point where it could worth billions of dollars, maybe trillions? In the last video about cryptos, I made a case why everything that's happening with cryptos now is not sustainable. We're playing with the fire and everything points out to a crash. Before you write down a negative comment, you understand nothing about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is here to stay, so shut your mouth. Please give me a chance to explain myself. That's not what I meant. I agree with you. Cryptocurrencies or blockchain in general are here to stay. No one is arguing against that. But any asset or technology, despite how great it might be, could be hyped and inflated. Whenever something like that happens, it is destined to crash. Take the internet for example. It is probably the greatest innovation in human history. It made our lives so much better. You can't even put a price tag on the internet. Whoever bet against the internet definitely lost. But like any other technology, it took us some time to develop it to the point where the entire world could use it and take advantage out of it. And cryptos are no exception. If you understand Bitcoin or blockchain, you can clearly see all the great benefits of this technology. But we need more time for us to exploit all the benefits out of it. But the hype around it doesn't care. So here in this video, I want to share with you a few more reasons or signs why all this seems like a bubble. The point isn't to criticize crypto, but let's just take a look at the facts, at what's happening to have a better idea of where all of this is heading to and when is the correction or a crash is happening. So give this video a thumbs up and make sure to get your 2 free stocks from Webull. Just use the link in the description. You're literally going to get 2 free stocks if you deposit $100. And now, let's get back to the video. Remember the news that Tesla purchased $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin? That took the world by storm. It made Bitcoin mainstream. If a company like Tesla is betting billions of dollars in crypto, that gave it a lot of legitimacy. So a lot of more investors jumped in and invested in Bitcoin, shooting the Bitcoin price through the roof. However, in the last video, I said that Tesla would most likely sell its share of Bitcoin, which is exactly what has been happening lately. Tesla sold 10% of its Bitcoin and made a profit of over $100 million. The guy is genius. Hate him as much as you want, but he's capitalizing on the asset that he helped to inflate. Here's how it works. Tesla buys some Bitcoin. Tesla announces that Bitcoin is good now and that it bought some more. The price of the Bitcoin goes up because institutional adoption of Bitcoin is good for its price, but also because anything that Musk buys goes up. Tesla sells some Bitcoin, making a profit. Musk tweets that the price of Bitcoin is too high. Bitcoin price goes down. And then go to step number 1 and repeat the exact same process. Right now, Tesla is sitting on $2.5 billion worth of Bitcoin, and over the year, Tesla will keep selling them bit by bit as the price keeps rising, which seems like the most likely scenario, but only time will tell. However, the point is, it's not growing organically, but rather it's getting hyped. When he changed his Twitter bio in late January to #Bitcoin, the price of Bitcoin rose nearly 20% in a matter of hours. If a single tweet by Elon Musk can increase the value of an asset by hundreds of billions of dollars, that's when you know that it's not sustainable. In fact, there are people who make money by just buying whatever Musk tweets about and selling it a few hours later. That's one way to make some extra cash on the side. Another way to find out if an asset is inflated is when prices go through the roof for no real reason. The product or the service doesn't provide any real value, but people still invest in it because they believe that they can make some quick money out of it. No one is holding it forever. The goal is to get out before the pyramid crashes. That's what happened with Dogecoin, for example, and apparently the same is happening with SafeMoon. If a single tweet by the king of memes can increase Bitcoin's price by 20%, what do you think he can do with Dogecoin? I will leave that for you to answer. But SafeMoon is on another level because the strategy initially was to invite everyone to join the token and disincentivize people to leave. If you sell your SafeMoon coins, you will have to pay a 10% fee. And here is the interesting part. 5% of this fee is then redistributed to all other SafeMoon owners, essentially rewarding those who hang on to their tokens and disincentivize selling. This is a brilliant marketing strategy to keep people hold their tokens when others are selling. I'm not really sure what's the point of this token, only time will tell what's gonna happen to SafeMoon. Another great marketing strategy is to issue so many coins where each coin would just cost so little that people would think that if the price of that token would just rise to 10 cents, which seems reasonable, they will make millions, such as 0.00004 cents, which is the current price of SafeMoon after its astronomical rise. I think the developers who actually hold most of the coins will slowly or are already selling their tokens and making millions of dollars. I mean, SafeMoon is valued at $2.8 billion at the time of this script, so if they hold even 20% of the tokens, they can already earn a few $100 million. Do you know when was the last time something like this was happening? According to Mark Cuban, who made billions during the dot-com bubble, whatever is happening with cryptos now reminds him exactly what happened to the internet in 1999. Mark Cuban founded Broadcast.com and sold it to Yahoo for $5.7 billion. Yahoo was the internet back then. Even my first ever email was at yahoo.com. Yahoo was that guy who felt like he's missing out, so he purchased Broadcast.com for $5.7 billion. And Mark Cuban was the guy who saw the crash coming and sold all of his stocks and got out right before the crash. Guess what happened to Broadcast.com? It went bankrupt, taking down with it Yahoo. It was pretty difficult to spot the real legit companies from those who would go bankrupt after the crash. Only a few companies like Amazon survived the crash because it secured funding right before the crash. However, its stock price fell from $107 to just $7. I'm not saying whether you should invest in cryptos now or not, or whether you should buy Dogecoin or SafeMoon. Don't listen to me, I'm just a random guy on the internet who's just sharing his thoughts on the subject. But here's what I will say. We all can learn from Yahoo's mistake. And now it's time to go and get your 2 free stocks from Webull. Not crypto stocks, but stocks from real companies. Just check the link in the description. Anyways, if you have enjoyed this video, you will most definitely enjoy this video that's on the screen. And now, give this video a thumbs up that it deserves and make sure to subscribe if you haven't done that yet. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.